So I've had kind of a strange experience play out for me over the last week or so that's once again led me to the inescapable conclusion that I think running this channel is kind of ruining gaming for me in a way. It all started with kind of just, I realized in the back of my head I had just the general desire to go play a game where I could chill in a forest somewhere, right? Collect resources or fight a couple forest themed mobs, whatever. Just be in that kind of environment. And WoW used to be the game that I would do that in, but if you keep up with the channel, you'll know that there's nothing there for me with WoW anymore, and I can't justify subscribing and paying expansion prices for a video game anymore. It's too late anyway. As I record this, we're less than a month out. We're very close, actually, to the Cataclysm pre-patch. If they're not playing it right now, I'm not sure. So, there's no shot. I definitely won't buy in for that. And in lieu of WoW, it used to be Oblivion for me. That was a game that whenever I got the urge to play WoW, but I didn't want to sub up, get into Oblivion, get the same kind of vibe, right? But there's a problem with Oblivion too, which I plan to record and release a video about shortly. No spoilers on that one. Point is, right now I'm just not playing it. I'm kind of stuck in between. Like I can. Just the next thing I'm gonna do is a video I'm making. So Skyrim, right? I got Skyrim too. That's perfectly acceptable alternative to Oblivion, usually. But if you watched my last video, you'll notice that there's footage of the game crashing on me, which happened a lot. I probably missed an opportunity to complain about, oh, what the hell are they doing? The game works fine for me for years. Why is it crashing now? There is a patch since then that I haven't installed or tried. And there you go once again, the channel interfering in a weird way. If I hadn't gone in to get that footage of the bandits in the forest and experienced all the crashing, maybe that thing works fine right now. I'm not going to waste my time patching it and trying it. So it would be pretty quick to figure out. It didn't take long to get crashes. I was intentionally moving around super slowly. We're getting off into a whole nother thing though. So, no Skyrim, no Oblivion, no WoW. We got Forest and Terraria, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Something about the 2D plane. It's fine to play a game in, but don't really get that same sense of immersion. Then I finally realized, because I'm thinking about buying a new game. There's a few other games that would scratch that itch it's just on my list. I bought so many games that I haven't played that I just don't, kind of made a rule for myself. You can't buy any more until you play what you have. Somebody's got to be an adult around here. If it's not the guy with the credit card, who the hell is it? But then I realized I already had access to the answer, and I wasn't too far off in the first place. Well, I guess the second and third places. I actually bought, and mentioned this on the channel before, about the basic edition of Elder Scrolls Online, whatever the cheapest one is, that has access to apparently very little, but that may just be because it was a new character. And at that point, I hadn't even fired it up yet. Spoiler alert, I do in this process. Whoops. I'm gonna try to do as few edits as possible. Just cut out some of the white space where I'm thinking of what my next sentence might be. And remembering where the hell I am. And that's exactly the problem, though, is Elder Scrolls Online, I had already mentioned on the channel, and said I might do my first impressions once again. I can play the game. I don't want to. because what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be setting up the recorder, I'm going to be setting up a microphone, I'm going to be trying to be entertaining. I'm not playing a game, I'm not chilling anywhere. It's better than a lot of work, but I'm doing work, right? Not exactly what I'm looking for. And it took me about a week of being in that state of, well, what are you going to do? How am I going to resolve this? I kept feeling that way when I would think about, free time. What are we doing today? Not being able to resolve it. And then I realized, this is all dumb. This is all dumb. Terraria actually is another example. I'm waiting to fight the Moon Lord because I want to record that. I got all these gotta record. That's fine. But it shouldn't obstruct me from being able to play the games that I want, so... And on top of that, I'm not a React YouTuber. Getting started on a new MMO is a boring experience. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Unless you're the one doing it, you don't want to experience that, right? Maybe if I was one of those React guys, it'd be more entertaining. There'd be a lot of quiet looking at wikis and farming up resources because it's a new character. I'm a video game goblin, and I'm not normal, so I can't resist the urge to open every urn, pick up every ore node, and whatever the hell. So whatever. This first Elder Scrolls Online character, it's mine. The ramp-up experience, that's mine. That was my time. I did it, and it was great. I may actually catch some footage so I can do a little bit of a not at all new review of the game. But quick impressions, felt like I was playing an Elder Scrolls game. We don't need Elder Scrolls 6. I'm already playing it. The 6th installment is the MMO. So far so good. And especially I'm playing this as a solo experience, so endgame shouldn't affect me too much. We'll see what happens when I start running into paywalls. And, once I figure out what I'm doing, maybe then we will do a playthrough, start a new character, show everybody what's going on, especially if I get a little more control over my experience. I mean, the lady was talking about you can go anywhere, and then every single portal had chains except for one. She's answering all these questions about elsewhere and friggin' like Morrowind. I got a Morrowind. I'm playing a Dark Elf. Yeah. Nope. Not yet. You gotta go to Bullshit Island first. Other than that, it's been pretty great. So on a funny side note, I noticed this spot and kind of actually flashed up in my memory as I was trying to solve this problem before I landed on Elder Scrolls Online. This spot in GTA 5 might have been able to suffice. It's just barely enough, right? Just barely far enough away from the roads and things. And it's okay. But then, a few days before I went to the Elder Scrolls Online, I was driving home from the store, and I realized that on my route, there's a spot that has denser trees than what I was experiencing there. And it just dawned on me in a flash. I didn't have the urge to play a video game and experience a forest. I had the urge to experience a forest. I'm getting like subconscious cries to go outside, man. Take a break. And I could have just pulled over right there. There was actually parking and public access and everything. I could have just pulled over right there and chilled. But I got stuff to do, so I didn't do that. But I could have, if I wanted. And at least now I know what I'm looking for. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed, I'm guessing, old footage of me playing World of Warcraft that I still haven't used on this channel. And And that probably covers the music too then, doesn't it? Kinda wanna on these Let's Talk, especially since the music and the video, it's also abstract from what I'm talking about sometimes. At least explain what the heck you're looking at and hearing. I think it's probably gonna be all obvious. I mean, if I remember correctly, I'm actually in a semi-forested area in WoW, doing exactly what I was talking about. Anyway, I am rambling for so long here. And of course, on this channel, we don't do any kind of corny outro. I just give my finger on the button that stops the recording and say, alright then.